It is good to be here as always. This is Brother Quico as usual. I invite you, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, to subscribe, like, and share these videos with others. It's always good to be here. As I said, it's important that we always share knowledge and help others to grow, because that's what it's all about, is our growth and our journey. Tonight we're going to discuss, we're going to reason about moving to the continent. And I know that a lot of brothers and sisters are interested in moving to the continent. And we find a lot of different stories, and I, for one, never want anyone to feel like, okay, moving to the continent, it is perfect and everything is just going to be all the roads, so to speak, is paved for you. That is not the case. And we have to come to the realization that Africa, are a Kubaland, as we know, the true essence of where we are, is really, in a lot of sense, underdeveloped in a lot of ways. It's not that you can get a lot of things here. You can really come into a lot of different situations here that you won't expect. A lot of people say, okay, Africa is where starving children is, and all these different things and the like. The reality is that we have to come into the place where we realize, okay, this place is a wonderful place, but one have to have their whole aspect of their mind, their life in order. And if you're going to relocate to the continent, one must realize that there's a lot that you have to take in. There's a lot have to come into account before you move to the continent. Welcoming everyone. It's always good to have wonderful brothers and sisters into the chat room as we progress in this subject that we are talking about. As I said, moving to the continent, it is not a perfect place, so to speak. I'm never going to tell you that. But the difference you will find here, it is that people will more welcome you. You will feel more at ease if you know yourself. For instance, I tell brothers all the time that when you're here in the continent, you will see a different treatment with policing. That's one thing I can tell, especially my brothers. And I know a lot of brothers, for instance, in the UK, in America, they have gone through a lot of police brutality. Young man and old alike will experience these things. Even some of our sisters experience this, but not as much as the brothers. So these are the things that you will see here, that it is different. They don't stop you because you're black. They don't stop you because the car you're driving. They don't care nothing about that. Okay? So you won't be affected by that kind of mentality and that kind of thinking. But maybe one of the things that you will see here that you don't expect to see is, like, a lot of us, for instance, if we were living in America or we were living in Europe, right? We come to the continent, and one of the things we're thinking, okay, the supermarkets that are in America. I'm not saying it's not here, it's here, but not as it is in America. Okay, because you can find so much product, for instance, food on the street. You can find fresh vegetables, all kind of different fruits. You will find them very easily on the side of the road, everywhere else. These things are there. Now, a lot of us that come from these places, we only use the supermarket food. And the difference is, you will see here, it is not so much of that. Okay? But you will find it on a different range. You will find different things on the street. People are more available to sell you things on the street side. So in America, that will not happen. And in the UK and different places in Europe, you will never see those things because they don't allow those things to happen. You see, only store that the government permit, you will see these things. So yes, a lot of brothers and sisters come to the motherland. They purchase land, then they develop their farm. They plant whatever they would like to eat, and they know exactly where their food source is coming from. So therefore, one also might think you come to the continent, they don't use the chemicals as in America. I'm not going to tell you that is so. They do use these chemicals because you have to see that our people here on the continent, the mind is westernized. You see, their mind, and it's the mind that they captured. Here you will see religion. The religions are here. We're not gonna hide and say these things. No, it's here. Religion is what captured the minds of our people on the continent. It is one of the biggest weapon. And when you come here, for instance, we call Sunday a holiday. Why? Because Sunday morning you will get up and you can't go to no supermarket. Anywhere you go, you will not get service on a Sunday morning, maybe at a gas station, okay, and few other places. But the reality is, I would say at least 85% of our people here are Christian. Maybe the other 10% are Muslim, and then you only have another 5%. So you see what I'm saying. Because they use this tool or this weapon to capture and control our people, their mind. And that is the place where we have to realize that when we come here, yes, we who come to spirituality, we who come to the place to see that our ancestors was taken from here. And one of the things that really comes to me is that when our ancestors was taken from here, they took the those ones that were really in a position to make sure that everything stay in order and that these ones did not get to overtake the continent. But the fact is that, we were the stolen ones. We were the ones that were really taken away from the land because they wanted the best and the brightest. So it wasn't about just taking some strong slave. It was about our mental state. How skilled were we? So when people make it like, oh, they came into Africa and all they do is capture people and take them away, it was not just any people. It was those who had the knowledge to develop, because these ones had no knowledge of development. So we were taken all over the world to develop, to help them to develop, and not just help them. We were enslaved. We didn't make sign a deal and say, okay, we're going to help you to develop and you're going to pay us this or that or the other. No, we were enslaved. Our ancestors were enslaved, beaten, raped, and all kind of things happened to them. So we know those things. Those are factual things that happen. What we are saying now is that we have come to a place and a point where we are able to return to our own, to our original land where our ancestors was taken away from. And so when you come here, you have to also recognize that a lot of these ones here, they don't understand none of our history. They have no idea. Most people here in the continent have no idea what happened to us. Even many, if you go and you start to trace history, only thing that they will tell you that they knew that some of their family members were missing. And until this day, they still can't account for them. So these are the things that happen. And they know the kind of family members that were missing, that these were the ones that were held in high esteem. It was no just capturing a farmer off the land. No. No, these ones that were taken, they were brilliant. They were the scientists. They were the, you name it, and they were it. They knew about agriculture. They knew about farming. They knew about, you name it, they knew it. They were the people who knew about medicine. They were the people who knew all these different things. They know how to develop society. They knew all of these things. So they were not just every ordinary day people who just work, work, work. No, that's not what it was about. You see. So our ancestors, I am thankful to my ancestors. I must say, first of all, that I was able to return to this land. And one of the first of my ancestors that was able to return to this wonderful place. But a lot of our brothers and sisters, when they come here, they are in a state of mind that they seek for ways to complain. Oh, the place is not what I think it was. The place is this, or the place is that, because they are thinking that they come here, then everything is going to be paid for them. But no one promised us that. No one. The reality is that we are the ones that's supposed to come into the land to help to develop it up, to make sure everything comes to this place. But it's going to take time. It is not going to be an overnight thing, because when you find out and you realize that your brothers and sisters here, in a lot of ways, they are ignorant of a lot of things that has taken place. They have no clue, they have no idea. And so that is where we come in, which it takes time, it takes patience, and it takes, one have to have a spirit of humility in order to deal with our people a lot of times. I am not going to sit here and tell you that it's easy. One must understand that. You're not just going to walk in here and they just give you citizenship and say, oh, welcome home, my brother. Here's your citizenship. No, you see, the people who run these governments here, they are colonized. Their minds has been taken over by the system. That's why the system school them. Both the divided kingdom called England, the divided state called America, they school these ones. France, Germany, all these ones, they school them and they return them to make sure that they have full control over the people and the resource of the land. So when you come here, you will see people who run the system that they have a colonized mind. You will see a lot of our people yearning to go to America, yearning to go to Europe. But now, fortunately, you will hear a lot more of the younger ones, our youths, realizing, even some that are in Europe, saying they want to return home because they realize that Europe is not what they think that it was. Or America is not what they think that it was. And especially if they become interested in the history of our people. And many of them, I remember one brother, I was having a discussion with him, and he says that he was in America and he came there to go to university, and he was in the University of Central Florida. And he says that when it was close to time for him to graduate, he started to go to the library and he started to do research. And he says when he started to research and he started to find out all these things that happened, he decided right after his graduation that he's going to return to the continent and he will not go to America because he had no more interest there. Because of what he see that they have done to his people. You see, but how many of even us in the Western world take the time to do research for ourselves to find out and figure out things? These are the important factors that we must spend time and research for ourselves in order for us to find out the truth about things and in order for us to grow, in order for us to help to develop ourselves first. Because before you can develop anyone else or help anyone else, you must develop yourself. You must develop your mind. Now, one of the things is that we have to put aside the preconceived ideas that people try to put in our mind. People tell us, oh, Africa is this or Africa is that, but we need to know for ourselves what is really the truth. And the truth is that our people here are actually ensnared by the system for the most part. And that's something that we always have to bear in mind, that the system has colonized the minds of our people by a weapon or a tool called religion. And when you get here, and those of us who are here will tell you that, and we will see that most of our people has not even come to a quarter of the place and the space that we find ourselves. The knowledge that we acquire, they are not there, and it is by design. So when you come here, you have to come with an open mind. You have to come here and see things not for what it is, but the potential that it has to grow, because everything has to grow. In order for full manifestation to take place, you have to give everything time to grow and develop. And you have to be ready and willing to be a part of that development. Let me give you it in this term that these westernized people always talk about. If you want to, let's say, get rich, just let's use that terminology. When there is a business that is being developed, they tell you in order for you to make money, you have to come in on the ground floor. And us, as the ones who are the rightful here of this wonderful place, it is time for us to come in and be on the ground floor, so to speak, that we can help to see our people grow to heights and leaps and bounds. So we have to have that mindset that just like building a house, you are seeing it through from the foundation. Even when you purchase a piece of land, there was nothing there. There was no house there. But you see the potential of the land just by looking at it. So you come here to the continent, you should come and your eyes should be ready to say, how can we make this place grow? How can we make it become the true place that it should be? And that is where each one of us comes in. It is where we have to come in with this mindset. But a lot of us is coming in with the mindset, oh, I'm an African American, I am a Jamaican, I am a Nigerian, I am from St. Lucia, St. Vincent, St. Martin, and Trinidad and Tobago and wherever. Forget all of that. Forget all of that. We have to come in oneness. We have to come in the sense where we are a unified people. When I say to my people, if you think about these so-called Europeans, when they go to do something, they get together and all they know, they see each other as white people. And when they come to stole some lands, that's all they see themselves as. And they are going to unite to make sure that they get all the resources that they need or want. We have to come in with the same way, in the same space of mind, not that we are going to rob and steal, no, but we are coming with the knowledge that we have and we always have within us to develop, to grow, to change the entire spectrum of the continent. And know that nothing is going to change overnight, but you have to have that vision within yourself already, the mind of unification. But if we come here with only a business mindset, which I'm not telling you that you shouldn't come with knowing how to operate and a business. But I am saying we have to come in here with a different mentality. Don't come with the mentality to say, oh, I'm coming here with the same arrogance as the European, the same mindset as the European, almost that you want to enslave your own people. That is not the mindset that we want to come with. We don't want to come also and look down on them, but we have to overstand their position. We have to overstand and we have to understand why they are in the space that they are in. So I'm not gonna come and here and tell you, oh, everything here is wonderful. Yes, you live on the continent for most part. You're living in a very peaceful place, and harassment is few and far between. What I'm saying is that brothers, especially in America and the UK and Europe, you don't have to worry about this police harassment. And I'm not going to tell you that the police is not going to stop you. You have checkpoints and all these different things all over the place. Yeah, they're not going to pull you out of your car and drag you over there and, push you up against the car and put handcuffs on you and all these things just because you're a black man. No, you're not going to find that. You see, but and the sense of you have to look at things and see it from where they are coming from, see it from their perspective and from their point of view. We are here to grow. And most part, sad to say, and I hear a lot of younger brothers and sisters here, they will express certain things to you, and they will tell you that a lot of times, like the older ones, the older generation, they are so deep in this Europeanized Christianity that even when they come to their spirituality, they are afraid to tell their own parents. They don't want to do that because you see, it's almost they swear by Jesus. And then the fact is that they swear by Jesus that they will pretty much want to destroy you because you give up on Jesus and return to your ancestral ways. Because what this religion has taught us as a people, it is that we are pagan. We are pagan people. Our ancestors was the pagans. They were these terrible people that done all these wrongs. But if you sit down and really see how these people has tricked us and lied to us with this lie about this Jesus and this God and all these different things, when you come to the point and realize that these people who are the barbarians, who are the pagans, who are the frauds and the liars and the true criminals of the world, then you see what they have done to your people. You will see that. For instance, in Ghana, there was a particular king that the British had captured and took to a place called Seychelles Island and had him there. I think it was for 7 years. They held him, and so you can imagine what they put him through until he convert to their so-called Christianity. They return him to Ghana and put him on his throne. What kind of person do you think he became? A religious one. So these people, they will rape and torture and murder to get get into one's mind, take over your mind. These are the things that they have done. These are the things that these people has done to our people in the name of religion and in the name of this God and in the name of all of this craziness, madness. So they didn't come in like when they come in as missionary. They don't come in, oh, like they're nice people, they're wonderful people, they're looking out for your best interests. No, when you don't want to do what they say, they torture you. They rape your women, also rape your men. These are the guys that Christianity come under and take over our people. So you can't expect any different from what you see. You can't. These are the things that they have done. And they can't come and say to you that this is not true because it is. The history is there. And because of their narcissism, because they write down everything that they have done, it is like a badge of honor for them to write down wickedness. Just like when I tell people this so called God of the Bible, when he's sending his people to go kill, rape, murder, to take man, woman, children, and the woman as a spoil, and all these different things, these are some abominable crime. So these are the things that they have done to the minds of our people. So it is us that have to change that. You see, it is us. And who do we help to re-educate? It is the young youths. You can't, you're wasting your time when you want to try to tell someone that is above, you know, mid 20s and up, to tell them about, you know, these things are not so. They're already entrenched. Their mind is already in full control. And that is where the problem lies. So it is the youths that we seek to help. I don't have the time to waste with people that want to argue about some so called Jesus that never existed. I don't have the time to argue that. It's a waste of energy. We passed that stage a long time ago. Most youths today, anyway, they don't believe in that foolishness anymore. Doesn't matter where they are. As long as they have one of those cell phone in their hand, they will say, you know, because they know what is going on in the world. And that's a fact. Just like you and I. We've come to the place and the space where we know what's going on. There's no hiding, you see. So we know. So all of these things that they are going on with and trying to hide things and trying to deceive, all of the deception is gone. So it is up to us that when we have our own children, we educate them. Relocating to the continent, it's a wonderful thing. But our minds have to be right. We have to come here with the right frame of mind. And I can see sometime why maybe our brothers and sisters, for instance, maybe from America or some from the UK, they might have a hard time adjusting on the continent. It is because they don't used to farming. They don't used to, they might come and buy some land and things like that. But how they know how to develop a farm. And sometimes, unfortunately, you have brothers and sisters, our people here, they become so westernized minded that they also will look to be the con artists, so to speak. They will take your money. So I'm not going to tell you, sit here and tell you story. They will take your money, okay? They will shyster you, so to speak, because they think you have an unending stream of money, because that's what they have been miseducated with. And so I would say to my brothers and sisters who are coming to the continent, try to seek out ones that come here before you, ones that kind of get an inner understanding and an overstanding and an overall view of this place that we're dealing with. And these brothers and sisters, they can help you. They can guide you. You see what I'm saying? They can guide you in this way. So just coming to the continent and saying, hey, uh, find a brother or sister who you say, okay, we are all Africans, but in a lot of ways, they don't see things that way. You're a foreigner because they really don't know you. And so what I'm saying is that you have to make sure, and you have to think, and you have to be reasonable. So you come here to develop yourself. So you have to use caution. I'm not going to tell you again that it is perfect here. The place itself is wonderful, but you are dealing with people. And as long as you're dealing with people with a colonized mind, then you will see what I'm talking about. So come in with a mindset. Yes, my brother, thank you for that. Research is the key. True. But always be ready to find someone that is going to be honest with you. You see, so that is these are some of the things that we are talking about. Ones that are going to be honest and true with you. So that is my one of my key thing to let you be aware of, is that you have to find brothers and sisters that is going to tell you what you need to know. Welcome in Apple Cider, and thank you for that. Yeah, I know that there's some of our people volunteering, wanting to go to Ukraine and all these different things. So, but we got to, you got to see that our people, they think in certain ways and they get desperate. You see what I'm saying? And they want to go and help their enemy. And so that is something that we want to show our brothers and sisters. We want to show them the truth of what's going on. And it is because of the miseducation of our people why they are thinking that way. And I see my niece is also in the house. I say greetings, and everyone else that is coming in. I say greetings. Thank you guys for coming in tonight. It's always a pleasure having you on board with us on the live. Yes. So as I'm saying is that, so you can come here and you can develop yourself very quickly. It is a place for development, but you have to have your mindset right. And for me to tell someone, okay, you can come here and say you can start up. No, if you don't have a business mind, because to be true, a lot of us that is in the Western world, no one was pushing us in the business aspect of things. We were trained as workers to be the worker bee all the time. We weren't the ones that they were teaching how to develop ourselves, to develop our own business. And even those of us that developed some sort of business in the Western world, the thing is that when you go to the banks, they didn't want to give you loans, they didn't want to help you in any way. You see, so I'm saying is that here you have to come with that right mindset, and you have to get into the know. So start to do your research, start to investigate, and if you're interested in business, start to develop yourself even before you get here. You see what I'm saying? That you know how to do that. If you want to get into, for instance, into farming, talk to brothers that are already into that aspect of it, those that are willing to help you develop yourself. Then you can get with them and they will help you to grow. Because one thing I will tell you, the land that is here on the continent, it is a wonder. It is amazing. You plant things, and it's amazing to see the size of the trees and how things grow without fertilizer, without all of these things that they want you to use in the Western world. You don't need those things to grow anything here. You only have to understand the seasons. And you have two seasons, for instance, the wet season and the dry season. And so you have to know what time to start doing your planting. You see what I'm saying? And then when you come to the continent, you try to be as self sustainable as possible. That should be your goal, that should be your aim, is to make sure that when you come, you want to get into the space where you can develop yourself quickly, in the sense where you want a place to live and you want to be on your own land. You don't want to come to the continent to sit here and pay rent, because I will tell you a lot of things that you might not be aware of. So in the Western world, you're there, you're renting and you're thinking, okay, all you are responsible for, are accountable for, is to make sure your rent is paid, your light and things like that. But anything is broken, you call the apartment complex or wherever, and they come and do that. It doesn't work like that here. Okay, you have to fix a lot of things that you wouldn't even imagine. If anything is broken, they will tell you you are accountable for it. What I'm saying is that those are the things that we have to be mindful of. So I am not here to miseducate my people. I am here to tell you the truth. So when you come here, you try to get on your own land as fast as possible. There are several ways that you can build reasonable housing, that you don't have to have a mortgage, you don't have to have none of those things. So even if you rent a place, you go on a short term basis, not on a long term. You're renting for years. Yeah, the rent might be cheap, and you're thinking the value of your money is good, but you have to be wise. So use your money wisely. So the money that you will be taking to pay 2 years of rent, why not rent a place for a year? I try to say if you can get a place for 6 months, and maybe you can develop a place that you can live in on your personal property by then. So these are the things that you have to take into account and make your living as simple as possible. Those are the things that you need to do. You see. So get you a place. Yes, my brother, thank you. A place that you can plant your own food, develop your own things, sustainable planting, not just plant vegetables, but plant trees, crops that is going to always bearing your pear or your avocado or your oranges and your different fruits and all these different things. Plant them on your property. So you want enough space that you can plant your short-term crops as well as long-term crops, coconuts, you name it. You plant these things because these are things that are going to be able to sustain you both short-term and long-term. These are the things that you need to do, you see. And other places that one might even think about, say, okay, I want to go to the Caribbean or a place like that. You have to think in the same term. If you want to get out of America or England and all those places, and you say, okay, I'm not going to Africa, but I want to go to, you have to think in the same mindset, okay, about self development, being self sustainable. You see, and the other thing is that for brothers and sisters that are moving from, especially America, that is coming to the continent, if you're going to bring things, for instance, a lot of things that is electronics, you have to realize that the power source here is totally different. Okay, those that are coming from England are on the same power grid as it would be in the UK or these different places. But in America, for instance, you use 120. In England is 220, and here in most places is 220. The same thing. So those are the things that you want to think about. So it would be better to purchase electronics here than to bring from there because you have to have all these adapters that you have to buy. That's extra money that you have to spend that you really don't need to. So I'm just showing you ways and means that when you come, you are prepared. And get with someone. For instance, when you're going to do construction, get with someone who knows construction. And it would be wonderful if you can get with someone who live in, for instance, the state or in the UK that knows about construction. And if you can get with those brothers and sisters, they can help you in those areas. And that way you won't get taken because brothers and sisters got stories about how, they are trying to build and, they lose a lot of money in that because a lot of times our brothers and sisters will take you for a ride if you are not aware. Get to know the places where they sell the materials that you can go and find out prices for yourself. And if you have someone that can oversee your project who knows about construction, then that would be another wonderful thing. So don't just trust people, okay? I'm not telling you that you shouldn't trust any, but don't just trust everyone who come to you and say, "Oh, I know this and I know that." You must learn. We and all of us must learn how we can we can assist those that are coming, and we have to be honest with them. And that's one of the things I full encourage my brothers and sisters to say, hey, you know, find brothers and sisters that are ready on the ground and have the information and is ready to help you to get to the next level that you want to, that you don't have to go through what they have gone through. Is Africa? Is Africa? Yes, my sister. I know that. Yeah, Jamaica. Like I said, it, we all know that it's a beautiful island. And yeah, I know lots of brothers and sisters that has moved to Jamaica and other Caribbean islands, and they are surviving, and they are doing what they have to do to survive. As I said, here on the continent, the beauty is that we learn how to develop ourselves for the most part. And as I said, the beauty for me here is that you see your brothers and sisters and they look like you, and it's all carbonated people for the most part. Yes, Dwayne. Those are the things true that should be done. And we know about, everyone in Africa should have one passport to move about the entire continent. And I'm sure those things that, got into the politics and everything that is going on, they've been talking about these things for years. And, these Africa Union and all of these different things, and Africa free trading that they are developing, which I'm sure is in some place with these governmental bodies here. But as for me, really, I don't depend on the government. It's just for us, the people. The people um, here on the continent are us. We have to put ourselves in a space where we have to be able to work with our brothers and sisters, and to force things to happen, to make things happen that needs to happen for our people. Because we shouldn't be coming here on the continent and fight and finding the issues that we're dealing with in the way that we have to deal with them. And it is because of the same people that we are dealing with in the Western world that they have put stop our roadblocks here on the continent. So we have to find ways around those things, right? To remove those roadblocks and remove those stumbling blocks, because they are the ones that are seeing to it that Africa is underdeveloped. So we have to change that, right? But we have to come in and we have to pool our resources, and we have to get together. We have to come out of the distrust of each other and get more into like-mindedness. But at the same time, I'm saying that we have to be wise. We have to be wise. So it's important. Heal up, I rising. Yeah. So we have to be wise. We have to be reasonable, right? Because it is about, as I said, growing together as a people and as a nation. It is where we come in and we put hands in hands and we pull together. And we have to stop saying that we are Jamaican, we are American, we are Nigerian, we are Ghanaians, we are Ethiopians, we are all these different. No, we are not those things. We are one people. And we have to put all of those aspects out of the way, where we are talking about religion and all these different things. Religion have to go out the window, because it is the biggest separation for us as a people. One saying I'm Catholic, Seventh Day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness, and all these different things. We have to stop it. We have to stop that. It hasn't helped us throughout our struggles. It hasn't helped us through any of our development. None of these things has helped us. Okay? It more put us into a space where we are more divided more than united. So these are the things that we have to look at, and we have to realize, yes, this is what we must do as a people. We must put all of those names aside, because none of those names are us. When if Let's say I was born in Jamaica and I go to America, a Nigerian brother go to America, a brother from South Africa go to America, a brother from Guyana go to America, a brother from Trinidad go to America, and a brother from all these different places go to America. When a police see you on the road, does he ask you if you're Seventh-day Adventists, are you Jehovah's Witness, are you Ghanaians, are you Jamaicans, or whatever? They don't ask you those questions. All they see is a black man. Isn't that so? Tell me that I'm not telling the truth. They don't care what religion you are. When they prejudice against you not to give you a job, they don't care where you come from. They don't ask you what religion are you. So why is it we are sticking to something that is not us? So a lot of time we are the ones that are not helping ourselves to develop together. Because these names, these barriers that our enemy puts on us is what keeping us divided. And when we come here, we look down on our Ghanaian brothers, our Ethiopian brothers. Are we looking down on our brothers from, from Sierra Leone or any one of these places on the continent? We are looking down on them because we think we are above them. No, just like when a lot of us from the Caribbean we go to America, and because of the mindset that the so-called British develop in us, we go to America and we look down on our brothers and sisters and think, oh, I don't want to be a black American. I don't want to get involved with them, and people telling you don't get involved with these. These are the prejudices that we develop against each other because of the system. But only us can change that. So we have to come out of that mindset. That is the mindset that is keeping us down and holding us down. So we have to put these name calling aside. You see what I'm saying is it is not good for us. That's why I tell my people when we come together in the name of spirituality because that's what we are. That's what our ancestors were. Spiritual people. Because spirituality means unity, development. So all of the things that our ancestors used to practice and help them to stay together as a unified people, they take those same things to tear us apart. So we have to stop that. You see what I'm saying is that's what these colonialists do, is to divide. The more they can divide us, then the more they succeed. But we have to kill the parasites by not paying them any attention, by creating our own narrative. If the parasite doesn't have blood, they can't feed and they will die automatically. So we have to stop feeding them. You see what I'm saying is we have to stop feeding these parasites. We have to stop them from sucking our blood, so to speak. You see, just like on the continent, these politicians allow them to suck all the resources. And our people would say that they are poor. But if it wasn't for Africa, Europe would have already been in oblivions because where they get their resource, where they get their food. Ah, but Africa is starving place, huh? You see, and as I tell my people, a lot of people say, why you if you tell a lot of your family or your friends, I'm going to France, or I'm going to England, or I'm going to Germany, or I'm going to the Netherlands, or I'm going to one of these places, they will think, oh, that is wonderful. But say to them that you're going to Africa and see their reaction because they are ignorant as far as Africa is concerned. They are totally ignorant, for the most part, what this continent is all about. Because of the same colonialists that tell all these lies, and we believe them. We have to change that because they are not going to change it for us. Write your own story. Write your own story. It's time for us as a people to write our own story and develop our own self. Start to re educate your children and those who are around you that is willing to learn. We don't want to force anyone to do anything, but we want to change the narrative. Stop the inner fighting with each other. You see, stop that. We have to come to the place where we really have to put all of this aside because we didn't create this narrative. Our enemies created the narrative and we are running with it and we are becoming a stumbling block to each other. These are the things that we have to stop. You see what I'm saying? Our people is still in America and saying, well, they want reparation, and they're using this thing as a shyster, are some kind of move to try to think that these politicians is going to give you these things. They're not going to give you these things. They have no intention of doing that. Even when our people in America was developing up themselves, the same American government destroyed it. So how is it that they're going to give you something? How many years since our people come out from under so-called enslavement? The physical enslavement and the brutality. And we're still suffering these things. A lot of our brothers and sisters are still suffering these brutalities today. Okay? We have to change the narrative. They're not going to change it for us. And many people say, okay, this is this and this is the other. But I'm saying to you, we have to have a base. And this continent is our base. And we have to develop it. And we have to come together to do this because it's going to benefit each and every one of us. It's important. You see, stop fighting each other. Stop saying, oh, I'm not African, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. Listen, like I said, when the police stop you on the street, they don't ask you if you're indigenous or you're not. They don't care where you were born. They don't care where you're from. They don't care none of those things as they see a black man. We are carbonated beings, but that's what they call us. So I'm just using those terms for those who are unfamiliar. And I know for the most part, we know who we are. Those of us who are truly spiritual minded, we know who we are. We are carbonated people, carbonated beings. That's what we are. You see. So it's about how we grow together. It is about moving forward because our journey is not in reverse. Our journey is always forward momentum. And as the more we look into ourselves and become more self-developed within our mind, and when you look into your mind and start to really think, you know who you are. Your mind, your inner person will teach you very quickly who you are. And as I always say, the key to self-development is one to love themselves, know themselves, and accept themselves. Those are the three keys to your self-development. So this is an everlasting journey that we find ourselves in. Okay? It doesn't end. The system will end, but our journey will never end because we are beings that exist for eternity. There is no beginning and there is no end. And anyone who doubt that, carbonated beings I'm talking to, anyone who doubt that, okay, you do some research and you will see what I'm talking about. You see? So I know that life has always existed. I know who I am. And I am who, when they tell you about God, I know I am the I am. So you should know who you are. You are what they are talking about, and you don't know. But because they teach you to look outside yourself, then that's why you think, I have to look outside myself for a savior. There's no savior outside yourself. You are your own savior. Any situation that you find yourself in life, you are the one who save yourself out of it. No one has come to your rescue. You are the one who rescue yourself. And that's what you have to tell yourself. In order for your own self development, I am the one. I am the one. And that is the important thing that you need to always resonate with. Who am I? What am I? Yes. And I say, I am the I am. And to I, there is no end, there is no beginning. It is always a journey. And the spirit have to take on flesh in order to understand what it is to be in flesh. That's all it is. You see, that's all it is. So let no one fool you, let no one deceive you. As I said, my people, you think about this fact. I say this all the time. But why you're here on your head is the only one who points upwards, tells you a story. It tells you who you are. And this is why they never like your ear. Then the people will always criticize and say all kind of things. Oh, you kinky here, you this, you that, whatever. No, they know who you are. And the only reason why you don't like your hair or the texture of it, it is because they put you outside of yourself that you won't look within. But once you start looking within and start seeking your greater self and become the God and the goddesses that you truly are, then they can't say nothing to deceive you, nothing to distract you anymore, or nothing, no lies they can tell that will throw you off track or off course anymore. Because now you come to the fullness of who you truly are. And then everything starts to be revealed to you. So, my wonderful brothers and sisters, it's a grand moment to have all of you in the chat room tonight, and it's always an honor for me to be here with you. And I always full joy the moment that I can share some knowledge with my brothers and sisters. As I said, you know, if you are interested in the continent and you want to transform yourself to this place, then you can always reach out to us at African Liberation Station at gmail.com. And there's lots of other brothers and sisters that are here and that are on YouTube that knows about the continent. They can tell you about it, and you can also reach out to those brothers and sisters, and they will give you the information that you need. So with me, I will say, it is always great love and an honor for me to be here and reason with you on these matters. So I'll say one love, as Marcus Garvey always say, and also Bob Marley, the legend, always say the same thing. One love to my people. It is always good. And I thank you guys for your participation in this reasoning that we always hold together. So please, full joy the rest of the morning, afternoon, or evening, or night, wherever you are. And I say, one love, take care. African Liberation Station out.